You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round.
So today's Sunday, and I'm going to meal prep my son's food pouches for the week. He takes them to daycare. So I'm just going to quickly show you some of the stuff that I'm going to be making for him. I tried to make him a fruit pouch, and then I also try to make him some type of pouch that has either some type of meat and vegetables or potatoes all mixed together. So I use the baby bullet to blend his food, and I use this as my steamer to steam his fruits or vegetables to soften them up. So this week I'm going to be making him some pears. And I try to buy organic fruits as much as possible, or organic vegetables if they have them at the grocery store. So I bought him some pears, and I bought him some apples. I bought him some mango chunks, some blueberries. These are strawberries, frozen strawberries that I have in here. And then I have some organic carrots. And then I bought him some chicken legs, and then some potatoes as well. So I'm going to start boiling the chicken first, and then I'm going to be putting the carrots and the potatoes in the steamer here to start softening up while the chicken cooks. And I'm going to first do like his lunchtime meal first, and then I'll work on his fruit pouch last. So I started off first by putting a pot, and I filled it up with about halfway of water. Next I'm just going to open up the chicken and put the chicken in there. I don't peel off the skin, I just put it all in there together, and then once the chicken comes out, then I just pull off all of the skin before I put it in the shredder. So I'm just going to put the chicken in here. This package that I buy comes with five chicken legs, which typically will make enough pouches for me for about an entire week. So I can have one pouch per day for 7 days with 5 chicken legs. So next I'm going to do the carrots. I bought some organic carrots. I'm going to first rinse them off, and then I'm going to peel off all of this hard part off of the carrot, and then cut off the stems, and then chop them up in just smaller pieces so that way I can put them to boil. Alrighty, so I've chosen to make Jaden's food pouches instead of buying them. For me, it's kind of like I don't know how long they've been sitting on the shelf, what preservatives they put inside of them to keep them fresh, and I just prefer to, if I can, make him his food. There's times where I do have to buy the pouches and give him the pouches, but if I don't have to, I'll try my best not to. So I've already removed all of the skin that I'm going to be removing. I have the carrots in here, so I'm going to chop them up next. So I'm going to throw all of this out. So I've chopped up all of the carrots, and I put them all to one side in here. And then I'm going to be cutting next the potatoes. I'm just doing some regular golden potatoes. I'm going to peel off the skin and also chop them up, and then I'll just put them right here on this side, so that way I can kind of steam it all together. They're both probably take around the same amount of time to steam. That's kind of why I put them together. I wouldn't have put them if I wouldn't put, say, like squash and carrots together, because then the squash steams a whole lot faster than carrots or even the potatoes themselves. So I'm just going to peel off all of the skin. For these golden potatoes, the skin peels off pretty easily. It's not very thick skin on the potatoes. And then I'm only doing 2 potatoes. My husband and I both work, so during the week, like, we don't have a lot of time to be making these pouches, so I try to make them on Sundays in between my church service and leave them ready for the week. I'll leave like 2 or 3 out and then freeze the rest, and then just take them out as needed, so that way they can stay fresher versus keeping them in the refrigerator all week. I don't want them to spoil or get ugly. So I'm just gonna quickly peel all of the potatoes. Alrighty, so I've chopped up all of the potato also, so you can see here I have the carrots on one side and the potatoes on the other side. I'm going to be using my pot. Here I'm going to put some water at the bottom, enough water so that way it doesn't run out of water, and then I'll just be sticking in the pot in the inside. So I put about 1.5 inches of water inside, and then next I'm just going to put, I'm sorry, not my pot inside the pot, I'm talking about the steamer inside of the pot, so it sits in there just like this. I'm going to put the lid in there, and while I have the chicken cooking, I'm going to leave this to cook as well. I don't like giving my baby just bland food. I know they say not to really put seasoning in the baby's foods. However, I'm going to be just putting a little bit of salt over it, so that way it has some type of flavor. So I have the chicken boiling here. So you can see the chicken legs are in here. They're boiling. I typically put them like on high, and I leave them boiling for about 35 to 40 minutes. Then I kind of check the chicken just to make sure that it's fully cooked. And then right next to it here I have the pot with the potatoes and the carrots inside, so that way they can steam pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it for some time. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start working on my, I'm going to wash off my cutting board, and I'm going to also wash off my knife. The same thing with the strainer, wash it out as well, and then start chopping up and peeling the pears and the apples and getting those ready, so that as soon as I'm done with the lunch for Jaden, that I can start working on his fruit pouches. So I decided to do 2 different combinations for this week for fruit. I'm going to be doing pears and apples mixed with a little bit of blueberry, and then I'm going to do strawberries, mango, and blueberries mixed together. I did this one for my son last week, and he really loved this one. At the daycare, they told me like he really enjoyed it. In addition to that one, I'm going to be making the pears, apples, and then I'm going to throw in some blueberries as well, and see how he likes that combination. So I'm going to be working next on peeling all of the apples and peeling the pears. So I've peeled the apples already, and I've also peeled the pears. So next I'm going to just cut them. So I have this apple cutter that I'm going to be using to slice the apples. It's the easiest way for me to slice them. So I've already cut up all of the apples and all of the pears. It's been approximately 30 minutes that the chicken has been cooking. It's looking pretty cooked. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to be pulling off all of the chicken off of the bone. I'm going to be leaving it probably like another 7 to 10 minutes or so. Next, we'll go ahead and check on the vegetables. Here are the vegetables and the potatoes. So let's just quickly touch. So these potatoes, those are ready. So that broke with the fork. And the carrots look like they're almost ready. They're still a little hard. So I'm just going to kind of let it continue to cook. Meanwhile, the chicken finishes cooking. And then you can see that there's still water inside of the pot. So that means that it is fine. I don't need to add any more. So it shouldn't run out from here to the time that I finish up with that. We'll be checking back in on that. Alright, so I just took out the potatoes and the carrots out. So I pulled them out so that way they can cool down. I just put them here on my countertop. They're like really hot. I left them boiling for about I want to say 30 minutes or so, and they're like really soft. Like you can see that I just squeezed it here and it breaks apart. And the same thing here with the potatoes as well. So I let it soften up enough so that way I don't have a hard time once I put it in the blender. And then coming to look over at the chicken, The chicken legs kind of come apart when you boil them like this, but that's okay because I'm going to take it apart anyways. But these are also cooked, and these cook for about 45 minutes to get them that soft. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cool down for just a bit. I'm going to start taking apart the chicken as soon as it cools down as well. And then after that, I'm going to put it in the baby bullet. So I'll go ahead and show you what that's like in just a bit. Here it is, cooling down. I put it here. This one here, you can see kind of like all of the smoke. So I'll just leave that for a while. A little warm, but I should be able to still take it apart. So I'm going to just quickly take apart the chicken. Doing it in this KitchenAid that I have. My parents gave me this Cuisinart this past weekend that we went down to go see them. However, I forgot the blade at their house. So I'm going to just do it in this one. This one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to throw in just a little bit of chicken. At a time, a little bit of chicken and then a little bit of potatoes. And a little bit of carrots. Probably going to have to do this in sections. Okay, and then I'm also going to put in a little bit of broth in here at the same time. Alright, so I have the chicken broth. I'm just going to put a little bit of chicken broth in here. Put the top on. I'm going to hit chop. It has a whole lot in there. So next I'm going to go ahead and pull out the pouches and start putting this inside the pouches. Meanwhile, I put the apples and pears to also boil or steam actually. That's what I'm going to be working on, the chicken and vegetables food pouches. That way I can do two things at once, have this boiling and have the chicken pouches going at the same time. So I decided to use the Infantino squeeze station, and it comes with these little tubes that you put inside. So I'll just demonstrate in just a bit what that's like. Oh, our fruit is already done. Next is going to be these pouches that I'm going to be putting the food in. So I'll go ahead and show you all how it is that I put together all of his baby food once it has already been cooked. This I ordered from Amazon. I talked about it in my last video. It comes with 50 pouches in it. It can either be attached to a spoon, the way it shows here in the picture with the baby, or they can just suck straight from it. Jaden doesn't know how to suck from it yet, but if I squeeze it, he will just eat straight from the pouch, which is helpful so I don't have to dirty a spoon or a bowl or anything like that. It comes with a whole bunch of lids, and I've used some. I used some in the pouches that I made for him last week. And then it just comes with all of the pouches inside, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and label all of the pouches with what he's going to be eating. And since he does take these to the daycare, I do put his name on them. And then I just put what is in the pouch, just in case maybe he were to have an allergic reaction to it. They can always come back and know what it is that he ate for the day. So I'm going to quickly just write out his name on all of them. Just like this, I just put his name and what he's going to be eating, chicken and veggies. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to make 10 pouches because I think that's about how much baby food is going to come from what I made. If there's more, then I'll just write his name on more of them. Alrighty, so I've written his name on all of them just like this, and then they come with the little lid. Once we put the baby food in them, then I'll just seal it up, and then that's it. These will be his pouches. So I'm going to be getting these ready so that way I can be pouring the food next. There you go. These have to go like a particular way. You just get it and you slide it in there, but it has to like kind of lock in there when you put it in. So that's kind of how it looks. And so I'm gonna put 3 at a time, but I kind of have to open up the bottom just so that way as the food comes in, it fits in there. So I'm gonna put the next one in there. Alrighty, so I'm gonna bring the bowl of baby food that I have. I'm just gonna use a spoon along with the spatula to put it in there, just to make sure that I don't make a mess out of it. So I've already finished all of the chicken and vegetables. Next, I'm going to be moving on to doing the fruit pouches for Jaden. All of the fruit that I have has already either thawed out or has already steamed, so it's ready for me to next puree. So I'm just going to quickly puree it, show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'm doing 2 different food pouches. The first one I'm going to do is apples, pears, and a few blueberries inside. And then the second set of food pouches is going to be mango, blueberries, and strawberries. So as I mentioned, the first, and sorry, disregard the noise in the background, it's my dishwasher. But this is the first set that I'm going to be doing, which are just a few blueberries, not too many because it's super powerful. Pears and apples, it's really hard to tell the difference between the two. But they're both in there, pears and apples. So I'm going to go ahead, and this time I am going to use the baby blender to put them in. Blueberries are already done, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do Jaden's fruit pouches. Let's see, too much glare. This is his name, and then it just says fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and put his pureed apples, pears, and berries into his fruit pouch, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the strawberry, mango, and blueberries as well. Doing the mango fruit mixture. So I just bought this one. It's just the organics bag that they sell at our supermarket. Alrighty, so I'm already done with all of the pouches that I'm going to be doing for this week, and so it ended up being a whole lot of pouches, and I put them here in this basket. I just put a divider right in the middle. You can kind of see right here on the side where I have fruits on one side, and then I have his chicken, vegetables, and potato on the other side in here. So I'm not going to be keeping all of these in the refrigerator at the same time. As I said earlier, I don't want them to spoil or anything like that, so I'm just going to pull out what he's going to need. I'm going to just go on an every 3-day basis. So I'm going to just put, for example, like these are his chicken and veggies, so I'm going to put 3 of his chicken and veggies here on this side, and then I'm going to just get this one here is fruit. This one had the mango, strawberry, and blueberries in it, so I'll put him one of those. And then this one here was also fruit. This were the apples, pears, and blueberries in it, and I'll put him 3 of the fruit on the other side, and I put it here in this. This was my Medela milk storage container, so I'm going to just keep this one in my refrigerator with his food pouches, and then these right here I'm going to just keep in my freezer organized, and that way as I need them I'll be pulling them out. So at the end of everything I ended up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I ended up having 12 of the chicken and vegetable, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of the fruit pouches. So this should last me. I usually just send him one for breakfast, or actually the fruits usually his snack. So he'll have his chicken for lunch, and then he'll have fruit for snack, and then for dinner he eats whatever my husband and I are eating. So he won't be needing of the fruit pouches for. He won't be needing of the fruit pouches for dinner because he just eats from whatever we're eating. And I usually just send him Monday through Friday the food pouches, and then on Saturday and Sunday I'll either give him a fruit pouch or he'll just eat from whatever my husband and I are eating from. So just depending on what it is. If we're in a hurry on the go, then at that point I will pull out a food pouch and just take that with me, as that's just much easier to do if we're gonna just be on the go. So that is everything for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing me go through the process, and in case you have a baby that is either going to be starting to be eating pureed food, or is already, and you just need ideas, or you're just wondering how other moms out there keep up with it. For me, like I said, my husband and I both work. We're very busy during the week. It's just easier for me to do all of his food pouches in advance, and I just pull them out as I need them. That works for me. If that works for you, I hope that this video was beneficial and helpful for you. If you did enjoy watching this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, and I will see you next time.
Move mountains, we gon' walk it out.